What's up, you guys, and welcome to a whole new episode of Toni Approved. This album review video is dedicated to one of my top favorite artists of all time, Aaliyah, and to celebrate her self-titled album that turned 20 years old this year. Now, some of y'all may think that this is a high album cover rating, but let me explain exactly why it's a 10 out of 10. This cover has not only stood the test of times, but it has also been a standard of all of Aaliyah's albums. Most of the time when press or anybody is referencing an Aaliyah album, they always use this particular cover. This cover is a creative way that Aaliyah used to continue to express her mystique as an artist. If you guys are unfamiliar, Aaliyah's mystique was something that she took very seriously. It was a part of her image and it was a part of who she is. In previous album covers, she used her sunglasses to add that layer of mystique. But with this album cover, she was able to get rid of the sunglasses and still showcase her face, all while still keeping it still mysterious and not completely showing us exactly what she looks like. This cover also gave this album its nickname, the Red Album, which is what a lot of her core fans refer to it as, because that red baby just stands out the same way Aaliyah does. Aaliyah's name is Arabic and it means the highest, most exalted one, the best. And that is actually the energy that she wanted to carry this project. I think time has shown that that was a very wise choice for this album because it definitely lived up to its name. This is a very difficult choice, y'all, because my top 3 for this album has definitely changed several times over in the last 20 years. But if I had to take my top 3 right now at this moment, they would be... You know that I love you. Can't believe you've shot the nerve, boy. You try to be extra smooth, extra smooth. Now the videos of this era, man, are We Need a Resolution, More Than a Woman, and Rock the Boat. Each one of these videos is a creative masterpiece in my opinion. And we couldn't have asked for better last videos from Aaliyah. I love the edginess of We Need a Resolution, from the snake pit to the dark colors, the creativeness of the makeup. Then there's the smoothness of her dancing. She had this ability to be masculine and feminine at the same time, something that I honestly want to embody myself. With More Than a Woman, I mean, come on. Who really thinks to make a music video inside of a motorcycle? The entire video is that girl and was definitely my favorite video of all 3 when I was younger. I thought the coolest parts of the video was when Aaliyah was in the headlights of the motorcycle and the scenes were so short and I always would get so excited like, hey, I like that part, I like that part. Rock the Boat is just a beautiful video. Aaliyah is so pretty and literally every single scene she showcased how beautiful she is. I think my favorite scene in this video are the underwater scenes. I love the red jewels that she added to her face while she was underwater. And this video gave me my favorite choreography of all 3 of the videos. I thought it was just smooth and clean and just so Aaliyah-like. I Care For You was also released as a single off of this album, and I've heard that Loose Rap was intended to be the original lead single for the project before We Need a Resolution came along. I personally think that all 5 of these tracks, including I Care For You and Loose Rap, could have been released as singles from the Aaliyah album if Aaliyah was still here to promote the project. I feel like Loose Rap may have gotten this really cute video, and if so, it would have been a standout love song that her fan base really loves, the way we love I Don't Wanna or Come Back in One Piece with DMX. And I Care For You, that song, I'm happy to share that as one of my favorite songs on the album, just like Aaliyah stated that at one point it was her favorite song, because it is just a timeless classic love song. And Aaliyah just, when she's singing on this record, she doesn't sound like she's 22. She doesn't sound like she's only been in the record business for 7 years. She just sounds like an angelic icon that just is amazing and can just breathe life into a record like no other artist can. It is just a great record, and I feel like in 50 years people are still gonna love that record. Aaliyah was very experimental with the sound and the lyrics of this album, which, and in my opinion, that goes back to the title of the album. Aaliyah was a very multi-dimensional artist who wore different hats and was an artist that you couldn't just put in a box. I feel like with the sound of this album, she made sure to convey that message by choosing different types of songs and different types of tracks. We got our traditional sounding tracks from her, which were the Timbaland tracks, which allow her to stay current to her current sound. But then we get the key beats tracks that are, you know, the mid-tempos, the ballads that changes the sound of the record. Then we throw in Latin tracks like Read Between the Lines, the heavy metal and beat tracks like What If. And let's pause right here for a second. What If definitely has to have its own shining moment, because you guys know how I feel about last tracks. This track is a track that's so different, so interesting, that it just sums up the complete message of what she wanted the album to be when you get to the end. And it definitely makes you want to start back over, because it makes you realize we really got a lot of different sounds on this project. Back in the day, Messed Up was actually a hidden track that was on the album, which those sounds aren't the same, but kind of similar in their differentness to what Timbaland tracks and singles that people would be used to hearing from Aaliyah. So they both would serve with having the exact same effect of make you want to restart the whole album all over just to hear all of the creative differences. Aaliyah also stated that she wanted to talk about all types of relationships on this record, and I think Static Major and the other writers on this album did a really good job at helping her convey those messages. And when they talk about relationships on this album, they're not just talking about good relationships and bad relationships. They took the time to really like explore different sides of relationships, different levels to it being good, different levels to it being bad, different types of relationships as far as abusive relationships, friendship relationships, cheating relationships, all type. And I think that level of maturity is what, along with her mature vocals, is what helped this album to be a standout, especially among her last album, 1 in a Million, even though it was a standout track on its own from its creative sound. One of my most viewed videos on my channel is actually the reaction video that I did to a Rare Aaliyah video. I did this maybe a year ago, I believe. YouTube had recently uploaded an interview that Aaliyah did back in 2001 when she was in Paris. And I hadn't actually seen that interview before, so I was so excited. I made a video for it, and I want to thank everybody that has viewed this video. This video has got over 1.5K views. Thank you guys so much for viewing it. And I know some of you guys may question, well, if this video did so well, why did it take you so long to make another video about Aaliyah? Well, to be honest, I think one thing that I've learned being a YouTuber and a music commentator is that you have to be honest and a bit transparent through your videos in order for your audience to connect to what your topics are. I used to get picked on a lot when I was younger, being an Aaliyah fan, especially after she died. People would tell me, even people in my family would tell me stuff like, oh, you're in love with a dead girl and you need to just let her rest in peace. And honestly, this caused me to only express my liking for Aaliyah through my clothing and to my close friends. And people did this towards my love for Beyonce as well. But the difference is I was more sensitive to Aaliyah because Aaliyah wasn't here to continue to put music out. And unfortunately, I feel like that headspace kind of slid a little bit into the making of my channel and my videos. Even though I saw the numbers going up for this video, I started having people who I knew outside of my close friends subscribe to my YouTube channel, and people who I've known and other family members that I've known over the years. So I think subconsciously I didn't want to talk about her too much because I didn't really want to relive some of the stuff they used to say. And honestly, they give me enough flack about liking Beyonce. So it was just kind of like I don't know if I could take it when it comes to Aaliyah because she's a very sensitive subject. But one thing I've grown to learn is that Aaliyah has a huge fan base when it comes to YouTube. All of Aaliyah's fans love to watch videos about her, love to hear creative ideas, hearing other fans reminisce about her music, her style, her career, and different things that it did for us. So I have to keep that in the front of my mind and allow myself to make more creative videos about creative topics for Aaliyah. There's so much that I can, cover from her. And I feel if I continue to do this, I'll do my job as a fan of hers to keep her legacy alive the way the Red album has done for so many others 20 years later, even without being on streaming music sites. But what do you guys think about Aaliyah's self-titled album? I know it may be difficult to listen to if you weren't around when the physical CDs and copies was out. But what's your guys' favorite songs on this album? What's your favorite takeaway? To people who were enjoying her music around the time that she was living and the time that this album came out, what's your favorite memory of this time? Go ahead, share it all with me. Drop down in the comments section and let me know. And please make sure that you don't forget to like and subscribe so you can stay in the know of everything that Toni Approved has coming at you and other album reviews that I'm doing as well. Forever a fan of Baby Girl, and thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Until next time, God bless.